Located in the Yellcrest National Historic District of Salt Lake City, Miller Park is an 8.75-acre beloved naturalistic park with environmental, historical, and cultural significance, and with Red Butte Creek as its central feature. It provides critical riparian habitat and a space for people to get away from the everyday bustle of the city. The park also possesses a rich sense of history, with the construction of the stairs and bridges by the Civilian Conservation Corps dating back to the 1930s. With 2 large walking paths and numerous scenic overlooks, the park attracts many visitors of all types. Riding on the heels of a 2018 constituent-submitted capital improvement project that identified potential enhancements to Miller Park, this study aims to guide future park improvements in a way that promotes broader access for park users while still preserving the historical and ecological integrity of the park. Established as a bird refuge and nature park in 1935, the linear park has seen several modifications to improve safety and the general park experience. Much of the masonry work present in Miller Park today is a result of the Works Progress Administration and Civilian Conservation Corps programs established to provide work to the unemployed during the Great Depression. Around the turn of the 21st century, several improvements were made, including alterations to Red Butte Creek in response to flooding in 1985, and the addition of crib block walls, timber walls, benches, railings, and other improvements in 1987 and 1992. Following the Red Butte oil spill of 2010, the park was improved to restore a section of degraded creek and nearby habitat to a more natural state, including planting native vegetation, enhancing habitat, and improving public access. These restoration efforts were completed in December of 2014. In line with the ideas proposed in the 2018 constituent-submitted capital improvement project, the goals for this project are twofold: preserve historic structures, and improve trail accessibility. Challenges and solutions for achieving these 2 goals are presented in detail throughout this plan, including information related to preliminary project cost estimates and funding. There are other overarching management goals that have influenced considerations and recommendations in this plan. They include: preserve the character of the park as an urban sanctuary, provide and protect habitat for birds and animals, protect natural stream function, water quality, and streamside vegetation, protect and highlight historic features, protect the quality of visitors' experience, encourage public enjoyment and stewardship of natural features, and minimize impacts on adjoining property owners. In order to achieve the overarching goals of the Citizen CIP application, Salt Lake City Parks and Public Lands and the planning team have developed a suite of potential improvements throughout the park. Each project has been assigned a qualitative rating based on 4 criteria. Implementation cost. What is the implementation cost of the respective improvement? Environmental impact. What impact would the identified project have on the habitat and ecosystems within the park? Accessibility. How much does the project improve accessibility for people of varying ages and abilities? And historic preservation. Does the identified project preserve or protect the park's historic assets? Entrances to the study area occur at 900 South on the north end of the park and at Bonneview Drive at the south end of the park. Neither of these entrances accommodate visitors with accessibility needs, such as those in wheelchairs. To improve this, a curb cut and ramp could be added from Bonneview Drive, which would provide a wheelchair-accessible entrance into the park. At several locations, segments of the trail circulating through Miller Park do not meet minimum standards for acceptable slopes per industry guidelines for trails and open spaces. In many areas of the park, both the cross slope and running slope are too steep to safely accommodate individuals with disabilities. This issue is magnified by wet and icy conditions, issues common to the area during the winter season. To improve this, the cross slope could be corrected at multiple locations through infill and retaining. In some areas, the addition of stairs and handrails could also improve accessibility. The goal is for the paths to achieve a 2% maximum cross slope and a 5% maximum running slope. Chain link fences atop stone walls that are not maintained are potential sources of structural degradation. These fences add additional lateral wind loads that were not accounted for in the original wall design and, when neglected, collect debris that adds soil loads to retaining structures. To improve this, project leaders highlight the importance of coordination with individual property owners to maintain downslope fences and keep them free of debris. This is a fairly easy project to accomplish cost-wise, but will have significant impacts on historic preservation. In a handful of cases, the stone walls in Miller Park are showing exposed foundations or undermined wall toes. This is primarily caused by runoff over the top of walls that have eroded slopes near wall toes, as well as prior trail construction that has exposed foundations through grading efforts. To improve this, soil or crusher fines infill would be added to cover exposed foundations. This is a fairly low-cost project, but will aid in historic preservation and resilience of these structures. Several adjacent properties contain structures, including walls, sheds, and decks, that contribute to loads on park retaining walls. Some structures sit on private lands while others are on park property. Additionally, sizable trees have been allowed to grow near the top of retaining walls, threatening wall longevity. To improve this, any non-native trees on park property growing within 5 feet of the back of the structural walls can be removed. Some segments of the trail loop require stairs for traversing steep grades, meaning that a continuous walking loop that meets accessibility standards is not achieved and therefore diminishes the experience for trail users limited to accessible routes. Even for visitors who can traverse stairs, the stairway on the Upper East Trail consists of uneven treads and riser heights and lacks intermittent landings. To improve this, new stairs could be reconstructed to make risers even and treads a consistent length. A handrail would be added on the upslope side of the stairs to provide additional support. Landings every 10 steps or so will also provide a space for people to catch their breath or enjoy the view. This is a fairly intensive project, but would significantly aid in promoting accessibility throughout the park. Concentrated runoff from adjacent properties and insufficient drainage behind retaining walls are leading to erosion and weakening of walls due to hydrostatic pressure applying lateral force on retaining structures, both stone and timber. This can be dangerous for those walking on the path and could lead to landslides. To improve this, Salt Lake City Parks is hoping to better coordinate with property owners to prevent concentrated drainage from private property onto park property where it can cause damage. This is a fairly easy project to accomplish cost-wise, but will have significant impacts on both historic preservation and accessibility. In a few places along the walking path, timber retaining walls are bulging and being undermined by drainage from adjacent properties. This can be dangerous for those walking on the path and could lead to wall failure. To improve this, the timber walls can be fortified with buttresses to ensure that the wall is stable and secure. Segments of the concrete crib wall near the creek that have been washed away can be replaced. This is a fairly expensive project, but will improve accessibility and make the park safer for all users. One of the biggest challenges of the walking path within the park is its many uneven and rugged sections of trail on the southeast side of the park. These sections inhibit a continuous loop of accessible trail through the park. To improve this, a bridge and boardwalk could be constructed over the creek along the north end of the park that creates a complete loop around the park that is wheelchair accessible. The boardwalk would connect to the trail system on the east side of the creek, bypassing the existing stairway and creating a wheelchair-accessible loop. If built, this boardwalk would eliminate the need for the upper trail and stairs on the east side of the creek. While this project would have a huge positive impact on accessibility, its impact on the environment and its price tag need to be considered. We would love your input regarding any other issues related to historic structures or accessibility, or if you have any other ideas. Please explore the project website, let us know your thoughts in the survey and interactive map, and provide feedback on each of the projects highlighted above. Thanks for your time and enjoy your parks.